Hey guys, Kenny here, Ken Small Engine Repair. Hey, we've got one of these John Deere EZTrak. It's a 42 deck with a 22 horsepower engine. The guy's complained, he had a couple of complaints. He said it was running hot and I cleaned out mouse nests and stuff like that, so that's one thing. But the other complaint he had was that lever. If you notice on this one here, see when I pull it, it'll stay where you put it, right? It's got a little bit of friction on it, okay? That one there would just flop. It would keep flopping around. It really pissed him off because you'd be sitting there and all of a sudden, bloop, the thing would just flop over. So what I did initially was I put a shim in between the nylock nut to see if maybe I could crimp it a little more, and that didn't do anything. So then what I did to make the fix, the distance in between here and the arm and the upright, I took a shim like you use on your wheels and tires, okay? And I cut it so it would fit in there, and I tapped it in to make up clearance in there. Now watch. It stays where you go. He's gonna be very happy because that pissed him off. Because what would happen, he'd be sitting there and all of a sudden he'd let go and say plop, it would just flop out. It'd be flopping like this, all right? So if you take a shim, this shim is only about, the one I used is about maybe, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 thousandths. It's not much of a shim. Okay, but it's a precision shim that you get at like Tractor Supply. They're not washers, they're shims because they're ground on both sides, they're precision. And then you slot it with a hacksaw so it's like a U, and then you tap it in there, but you gotta tap it in good so it stays. And now, look at this, beautiful. This guy's gonna love it. He's gonna say, Kenny, you helped me out. I also adjusted the handles front and rear so they're the same, and I'm going to start the thing up and I'm going to push it both forward so they both track the same. Because right now when I sat in this thing and I pushed them both forward, the thing was pulling to the left or pulling to the right. So I'm going to have to adjust these screws here. There's screws right here, and the way they adjust, the tool, which is your stop for your deck, which is kind of cool, all right? The stop for your deck, which is this tool here, it goes in and it's used as your stop for your handle for your deck, to do your deck height. Well, that same tool is used to adjust the adjusters on both sides. And that adjuster adjusts that stop where it stops the hydro handle from going forward. So I'm gonna get the thing started. I gotta put the plastic pad back on. Now this whole pad underneath the seat that comes off for access is only held on with push fasteners. It's just push fasteners. You take them out with a screwdriver. If you have a push fastener tool, they just come right out. 7 of them, and that whole pad comes out. But that's what I did, guys, because this guy, he did not like this thing flopping. So now, look at that. Oh, he's gonna be happy as a clam. Or as my friends in the UK say, happy as Larry. All right, let me get this thing together and I'll show you what it's like running. All right, you got these push pins, and here's where they go. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's the 7th one? And 7 down there, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 in the middle. So 2 in the back, 2 in the middle, 2 in the front, 1 on the end there. All right, let me put these push pins in. Very simple, just stick them in. Like that, I'll push these all in. Then the seat goes on, I'll put the seat on, and then we'll get in business. We'll see what happens. All right, the seat mounting is very simple. You put the seat down, then you have these pins. All right, and what you do, you slide the pin in. Let me get a good shot here. Slide the pin in. All right, and then that one goes back and it snaps in place. Take this pin. Oh, let's get it slid in. Oh, need 2 hands. Hard to film with 1 hand. All right, slide it in, snap. There you go. Now the seat is done. Now you lift it up. All right, and you got to put your clip in. There's your clip for your safety switch. Trying to do this with 1 hand here, fellas. Let's see if I can do it. All right. So, safety switch in, harness goes in to the clip. That's it. All right. Now, there's 2 panels, safety panels, or actually 3 axis panels actually. So we got the battery panel and that just snaps in. All right, 1, 2, that one snaps, and there's that little panel. Where is it? This little panel here. This one is the access panel for like a toolbox. All right. And that one, oh, this way, because it's got the cutout for the wire. So it goes in like that. 1, 2, all right. The seat comes, but now I adjusted the seat. This guy's a short guy. I adjusted it for me. So it's got to be a little high for him. There's also a panel here to access the belts. That's this guy here. All right. And this one here. All right. You stick it in the slot. You got to raise the brake lever. And there's one Tinnerman nut there. That Tinnerman nut takes this bolt here. All right, 13 millimeter. Okay, where's the socket? Where's my socket? Where did I put the socket? All right, let me grab the socket. Oh, there it is. There's my ratchet. Let me grab the socket. I think it's 13. Let me grab a 13. Let's see if that's right. Yep. All right, let's get this sucker going. Tinnerman nut. Pretty simple. It's got a washer built into the head, so you don't have to worry about a flat washer or anything. That's how you access the belts on these EZTraks. Okay, good enough. All right, starting to rain. That's not good. All right, let me take it for a little ride. I'll see if I get the tripod out and get you going, but it's raining now. I want to take this thing out of the rain. Be right back. All right, just some final notes on this John Deere EZTrak. It's a Z225. I explained how this tool is used to set the cutting height. All right, you put it in there, then you can lower to whatever height you want for your cut. Okay, or you can also take it and adjust your hydro levers, okay, by turning in or out. There's a stop screw right there, and this turns it in or out. Okay, also one other thing this thing does, you can take off this screw to open up the cover to access your belts or your grease fitting in the center. And there's one last, a couple more things. You can use it on the handles to adjust your handles forward or back. Pretty handy tool. And one last thing, on your seat, you can use it on, where are you here? You could use it on the seat screws to adjust the seat screws to move your seat back and forth. So pretty handy tool. It not only adjusts the height of your deck, but it's like a multi-tool. You could use it for a lot of purposes. So keep that in mind if you buy one of these. That's what that tool's for. It's not just a stop for your deck. It's a tool to take off your belt cover, adjust your hydros, adjust your seat. Pretty cool. So this thing's all adjusted now. This hydro lever was way off, so I adjusted that screw in so that now it's tracking straight. When you go straight, you push both handles forward, it goes nice and straight. He's a little shorter than me, this guy, so I pulled the seat up for him. Hopefully it'll be in a good position for him. I did pull the handles forward a little bit because when I sat in initially, these handles were hitting my belly. It was crazy. Anyway, I changed the fuel filter. I changed the oil and filter on this. I didn't have an air filter, but it didn't look too bad. He probably needs a new one, but I can order one if he wants it. But other than that, I mean, this thing, it starts and runs. Runs good, cuts good. I actually used it a couple houses down. I helped out my neighbor. He had cut most of his lawn except for the side yard. So I said, hey, let me test out the mower. So I tested it out. So, hey, nice little mower. Very fast, very fast. I mean, you could probably cut an acre in about 15 minutes with this thing. This thing trucks when it's in high gear. When you push those hydro levers forward at full speed, this thing goes. So look, EZTrak. I know a lot of guys don't like them. Yeah, they're cheaply made. Stamped steel, all that stuff. You know, 42-inch deck or 48-inch, I think, on this one. It might be bigger. Is it a 54? Huh, looks like about a 42, 48. Anyway, 0-turn, John Deere. Nice little one, all right? To take off this cover, like I told you, 7 of those pop fasteners. All right, see those little fasteners down, those push fasteners? There's 7 of them. There's 2, 2, 2, and 1. So 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, and 1 in the middle. So that cover comes off. The seat comes off with a couple of bolts right here. These come out, and the seat comes out. Very simple to work on. It really is. Now, if you have to get to any of the hydro linkage underneath, that's another story. There's a big plastic molded piece that has to come out. That would be a nightmare. But for just regular adjustments and to do normal service on this thing, not bad at all. Really not bad. So, all right, guys, that's it for now. John Deere 0-turn, EZTrak. All right, anytime you got these hydro levers that are hanging out, see right here? Look, now any position. That's what he wanted. He was sitting on this thing, and all of a sudden, the thing would just flop down. He don't like that. So now, what I did, as you can see, I put a shim right there. There's a shim in there, okay? And now that shim will give it enough interference. All right, so we'll go from there. All right, guys, talk to you soon.